Welcome everybody. Beautiful Saturday afternoon. Sorry, beautiful Saturday morning. Thank you for joining us. We can tell a lot of people joining from different part of the country and probably overseas. Today, we have a four guest speaker here. The core message is really how does COVID-19 impact our real estate investment businesses? The agenda for today's discussion are, first of all, we will get through Austin market. That's what we focus on today. Give us really high level overview. And then we get through some questions on has the mortgage lending changed? Also, based on that, we spend through what are our investment strategy? How do we adapt to the current market? Really good contents there. Just like many investors have in mind, concern really related to property management. We're gonna have Landon, our property manager, to share how we would do and how we achieve our performance above industry average. Then we're gonna go through a corporate rental model and how that compare with the short-term rental model. Okay. At the last, we will have some questions in case you have a question about how does COVID-19 impact the way how we run the businesses. Here's some housekeeping items. Save your question for the last. If you have a question, raise your hand, type in your question in the chat box. We will answer that along the way, and probably at the very last of the presentation, we will save some time. Thank you. First of all, let's introduce a guest speaker. My name is Lynn. For people who don't know me, I moved to Austin in 1993. I spent almost 30 years in Austin. I call this a home. Love Austin. I started the real estate about investment about 20 years ago. I really started the profession during last downturn, 2009. I'm the broker for Real International Realty. Also, I'm a certified commercial investment member, CCIM. Next guest speaker is Kavitha. Kavitha, why don't you give us a short introduction of yourself?
Thanks, Lynn. Hi, everyone. I'm Kavitha Baratake. I've been a real estate investor since 2009 and a resident of Austin since 2000 now. I started in single family homes and duplexes like a lot of investors and moved into commercial investments, specifically multifamily apartment buildings, about 2017. I'm a technology professional. I was in IBM and then a company called Atlassian for the last 20 years, 19 years to be precise, and I actually retired myself last year. I love real estate. I'm really passionate about it and I love educating people. So I'm excited to be here. And I think the downturn is always an opportunity for us to invest more. I host a lot of regular webinars and educate people about real estate investments and also ancillary topics around the investments. I have this Facebook group as well as YouTube channel, so feel free to look me up. Thank you.
Thank you, Kavitha. We're excited. Julie, could you give us an introduction of yourself?
Sure. I'm Julie Stokely. I moved to Austin 20 years ago from Canada, but Austin's now my home too. I've been in multiple careers in HR and events planning, but my true passion is real estate. And I started as an investor first as well. For me, that was in 2006. And I'm more of a buy and hold investor with single family homes, condos. I have done a little bit of multifamily and property management and leasing. Became a realtor 3 years ago and joined Lynn's team. It's been about a year and a half now. In the last 6 years, I developed, well, I didn't really develop a model, but I became a local expert on the corporate rental model here in Austin, and we're going to spend some time talking about that later. And our brokerage is now managing a portfolio of these as well. And we believe Austin is a really ripe community for that. And we're going to talk a little bit today about how COVID could provide some opportunities there. So nice to meet you all.
Thank you, Julie. She's going to bring you lots of good insights and case study. Thank you. Looking forward to it. Uh, uh, Landon.
And, hi, my name is Landon Williams. I'm actually the maintenance coordinator and property manager for basically all the properties that we have. That includes commercial, helping out with the corporate rentals as we kind of oversee maintenance and things of that nature. And I basically work in conjunction with leasing, basically every other department that we actually have. I've got 13 years of experience myself with real estate. 8 years of that was with foreclosures and investments, and another 10 years that overlapped that was just property maintenance in general. I've been in Austin now for about 4 years. I've got different facets I've done. I've worked for the automotive industry, basically doing the same thing I am now, but it was for cars. Now I'm doing it for homes. Essentially, outside of that, I kind of bring a different outlook. I've seen the worst of the worst, the best of the best, and I try to work towards getting everyone basically on the same page so we have everything that's lucrative for everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for the team for coming and host and also being a guest speaker with everybody here. For people joining us late, we were talking about the biggest news come out of the market. It came out yesterday. Tesla reported gonna build the next factory in Austin. I know they haven't officially announced it, but there's brokers in Austin already start looking for land for a Tesla factory. So some good news coming on the market. Here, I wanted to give everybody some update on the Austin real estate market. How do we do it? This is the MLS data in April. There are several critical information data I want to bring it to your attention. First of all, number of listing declined by over 20%. What does that mean? That means just naturally the sellers a bit of scared and concerned. If they don't have to move, they don't want to move. So the listing we see very consistently reduced compared to last year. 20% is very conservative. We see some markets, some location actually compared to last year reduced by 50%. Well, actually, if you look at people say, well, the market probably you're gonna have a depressed market, the price is gonna drop. On the contrary, no, it's not the case. If you look at the median sold price, actually increased by 4.4% compared this year with last year. Also, the median days on the market reduced by 5 days. What does that mean? That means there are a lot fewer, less inventory on the market. The price actually holding up really well, and it take much shorter time to sell those homes. So Austin still have a really good, healthy real estate market. Any question on that? We can help address that later. Another question our investor, our home buyers have concern or questions are, how does the COVID-19 affect the mortgage lending industry? Are there any financial changes? What's going on with the interest rate? I pop in a couple of slides here to show you. The UWM, which is a United Wholesale Mortgage, they are a mortgage lender. This week, they announced that their 30-year mortgage actually dropped to 2.5%. This is the first time we've seen that drop to below 3. If you recall, last recession, 2009, the mortgage rate actually was at average about 3.9%. That was all-time low. And there was always a buzz on the street that the mortgage is going to go below 3. Actually, we see that happening right now. Today, right? So it's really the projection is the interest rate going to hold between 2.5, 2.9 ranges. This is I summarize all the mortgage lending changes here for your information. First of all, what are the guideline changes for FHA, VA, conventional financing. I'll give you an example. The lender definitely tightened their lending criteria. Chase just raised their minimum credit score to 700. Chase went to extreme. They said, well, my minimum requirement is 700, but don't be scared, right? They're being conservative. There are other mortgage broker or lender, they still filling the gap. They can still do mid 600. But this is an example of how the mortgage lending gonna get tighter. What do we expect for the next 12 months? Definitely lender are going more conservative, especially if you want to do the jumbo loan. There many jumbo loan lender has turned off their businesses. They stopped lending those more jumbo loans. So that's going to affect the luxury market for sure. As the things progressing well, as we getting much better treatment for COVID-19, and hopefully we're going to see some changes in the jumbo loan market. For the commercial lending, we also see some changes there. For the first quarter, okay, compared to this quarter, we see the lower demand naturally, right? Multifamily commercial borrowing declined 2%. I think some market even declined more. Several, like us, Real International, we actually canceled several our purchasing deals. So we're falling into that category. Now, this is a good data about other industry. Loan origination for hotel, industrial, retail property has declined really significantly, right? Hotel lending decreased by 42%, industrial 39%, and retail 37%. Actually, the healthcare, surprisingly, healthcare, multifamily, and office actually in several sectors are increasing year over year. What does that mean? That means even with that decline, last year, you all know, was a phenomenal year for commercial real estate. So if you compare this year, even with the decline compared to last year, we're still above what we were last year, same time. Hope that gave you overall picture of how the mortgage and lending is doing right now. So the biggest question, I get this question a lot, right? In addition to home purchase, no brainer, interest rate dropping, if you have to purchase, the rate is good. A lot of my investors ask me, is that the time to do refinancing now? I would say probably you should hold. Of course, you can start shopping around. There's some lender coming out with a refinance rate, but as everything, all the lenders still working on the PPP loan, all the CARE Act, disaster relief funds, they got their hand tight. Also, they have issue with their hedge. They run some hedge, still hitting their bottom line. So I would say we don't expect the interest rate going to go up for any short period of time. If you can wait, you have time to wait. Okay. For first-time home buyer, you're a lucky person. You're actually going to see the lower rate. That's for sure. What should the investor do? Actually, that's a good topic. It will lead to Kavitha.